Next on Deck with Tim Black.
That raises a larger question. I mean, we have, and I include myself, we have got to stop demonizing each other.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, I think most of that right now in our country's history is coming, from the right, coming from people who want to dominate. They want their point of view. Writing out slavery from history, that doesn't make it go away.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that sometimes when you go away, it's best to stay gone. To take a quote from a movie I loved, Pet Sematary, when Herman Monster, when he was telling the dude about the Pet Cemetery where you bury things and they come back, and the father had lost his son. Remember Gage? That was so horrible, man. That was gut wrenching. Remember Gage? The tractor trailer hit Gage, and Dad is like, gotta find a way to bring my son back. And he was talking to Herman Monster, and Herman Monster looked at him and said,
well, sometimes that is better.
Sometimes dead is better. When I look at Hillary Clinton, I see her coming out again. I remember when she went out into the woods, she walked off into the woods after losing 2016. I thought that was the last time I'd see Hillary. She had a bottle of an expensive Chablis in her hand. She was walking into the woods, and I was thinking, before we go any further, let me let you know, the Tim Black Wolfpack is dedicated, committed, 10 toes down to reporting the truth, unbiased, and not working for any political party. If that sounds good to you, go to jointimblack.com, become a member of the Tim Black Wolfpack. She was walking into the woods, and I was thinking, that's it. Go out, go out. You know what I'm saying? You've been a senator. You've been a nominee for your party. And it just didn't work, And Secretary of State, that's it. Senator, State Secretary of State. These are big jobs. For somebody we probably wouldn't even know if she wasn't married to Bill Clinton. Probably wouldn't even know her. Hell of a job, But when she walked out into those woods with that bottle of wine, I was thinking that was it for her. We never see her again. But she came back. She came back. And every couple of years, it's like she comes back to either to write a book that no one wants to read or to do a podcast no one's going to listen to. It just keeps happening. And I'm just saying, Hillary Clinton, Democratic Party, sometimes dead is better. Yeah. She keeps talking. Not long. She won't go long. I know it's people like Tim Black. I don't want to hear her voice. You have to. I had to hear it. You got to hear it.
We have got to stop with the finger pointing and the scapegoating. We can have legitimate disagreement.
I could just walk off right now. Yeah, man, if I was on the panel, I probably want to walk off. I can't because I'm the only one here, man. I want to walk off for effect. I mean, Hillary Clinton, we need to turn down the temperature. She's called Trump every name imaginable. Anything. The end of civilization. Everything she could call Trump, she's been calling Trump, and it didn't work. It's another one that had twice the budget of Donald Trump and couldn't beat him. Twice the budget. She couldn't even beat Obama. So, and he was like unknown senator from Illinois at the time. Nobody knew who he was. He was a freshman senator. No one knew this guy. And he beat Hillary. In her own party. In a party some would say she built, her and her husband built. But still, somehow that was not an indication. Somehow, her being a white woman was enough to make it seem like she was inevitable to win. Though she could not beat Obama. And don't give me that Obama was well-spoken and all this shit. No, yeah, he was black still. He still looks black. And no one knew him. He didn't have a track record to run on. And the problem was Hillary had horrible things to run on. She had nothing good to run on. What has she actually done except say annoying things? And he didn't have any of the negatives like she did, like the super predator thing. But my thing is, when she did end up losing, people forgot that she lost to Obama in her own party, So it's like a running thing where you see that these people are going to be delusional. And as long as the media sells it, people buy it. No one ever, I listen to a lot of commentary about Hillary, and I'm just going over this now with y'all just for shits and giggles, man. But I do not recall anybody saying what I'm saying right now. And it's so obvious. If all the greatest minds in media could not come up with a commentary that would correctly lay that out for you and say, hey, she got beat by Obama. She shouldn't have got beat by Obama. If she was amazing, she should have beat Obama. She was well known. She was a first lady and a senator. How the hell could you not beat that guy? The guy with 2 years experience as assistant manager of a Zayres. How could you lose to that guy? And losing to that guy, that says something. This isn't about her, but they didn't even take it that way. So, and this is how we end up with Trump. Because you say Trump is so dangerous, but still you run this person. You know, if you're watching a movie and if you got a group of people that want to go out and fight the monster outside, you want your best person to go fight the monster. Or you don't respect the power of the monster. How bad is the bad guy if you send anybody out there to fight him? If you send Hillary Clinton out to fight Satan, Satan must not be Satan, right? Because you would send somebody, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to come up with an analogy that works. So I think in people's minds, they're like, well, how bad could he be if you're going to send this one? No, most people with the ability to hear can't listen to her for more than 10 minutes, let alone pay for it and send money for it. But she's back anyway. She's talking another book or another, like I said, another podcast to promote that no one wants to see.
Right? How do you provide quality, affordable health care to everybody? Let's figure that out. How do you deal with what's going to be job loss?
These people come out, they don't even have anything to say, Johnson. It's like she's brought up 5 different subjects and it's only been a minute and 30 seconds. 5 different subjects. She's bouncing from things to things. She's just talking because they gave her a platform. She don't have anything to really talk about. Nothing of substance. No point. 5 different things in a minute and a half. Now, I know I have a way. I sway, I sway in thought. I tell a story, but Jesus Christ, 5 different topics in a minute and a half. She done went to healthcare. What are we doing?
From AI. Let's get working on that.
To AI.
That's what we should be doing, but we should do it in the truth-based reality that we have to live in. Facts and evidence have to matter again. And then we can start having good debates. When I was in the Senate for...
Next on...
Yeah, thank God. That's it. I've already said all the things, I think, most of the things that I could think of that make that quick. No one deserves. I feel the same way I feel about Kamala Harris. No one deserves the presidency. There's no such thing as deserve. Okay? Nothing. You got to go take that. And no one can hand it to you. No one should be able to hand it to you.
On deck.
The Tim Black Show streams Sundays, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Wolfpack.